Iraq economic news and points to ponder Saturday AM the 5th of April 25. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Al-Sudani. Iraq today is powerful, strong, healthy, and advancing against expectations. Friday, April 4, 2025. 4:40 p.m. Politics number of reads. 144 Baghdad, Nina, Prime Minister. Mohammed Shia al-Sudani stressed. Iraq today is powerful, strong, healthy and is progressing contrary to expectations. Al-Sudani said during his meeting with a group of tribal sheikhs and dignitaries in Baghdad. The country is witnessing an unprecedented phase of reconstruction and development, noting, "There are those who are trying to paint a picture of panic and defeatism in the souls of society." He added, "The interest of Iraq and the Iraqis is the priority for the course of action of the government, and there is no room for courtesy with any internal or external party." Indicating, "There are those who thrive on the rhetoric of discord and sectarianism, especially with the approach of the electoral process." The Prime Minister continued, "The government has worked, from the beginning, on priorities based on the needs of the people, far from any personal or partisan goal. There is a real will to achieve reforms, and we have come a significant way in it, in a time frame not exceeding 2.5 years of the government's term, and we are all confident that Iraq's future is promising with its people, capabilities, resources and sound principle in managing the state." On the economic front, al-Sudani said, "The country's economy cannot be mortgaged to dependence on oil." He explained, "The Ministry of Oil has begun laying the foundations for a project to transport gas from the Gulf to power stations." Regarding the situation in Gaza, the Prime Minister stressed, "The Zionist aggression has exposed the international community's impotence in the face of daily scenes of killing." He added, "The region has witnessed exceptional circumstances, and the government's handling of this crisis was the most difficult test of its kind. With wisdom and responsibility, we have achieved balance in dealing with developments in the Palestinian issue." The Prime Minister congratulated those present on the occasion of Eid al-Fitr, extending his thanks to Hajj Rahim Majizer al-Baydani for the invitation. He also praised his role in social and humanitarian contributions, as well as his provision of aid and support to security services and displaced persons during the war on ISIS. He stressed that the tribes have always been with the state since its founding, starting with the 1920 revolution, and their contributions and sacrifices will continue effectively at various stages and times. He pointed to the role of the tribes and their honorable stand in responding to the call of the religious authority for the sufficient jihad. The call of the homeland, as all the sons of the tribes that bear the Iraqi color lined up in the trench of confrontation against terrorism. This stand came at a time when it was rumored that Iraq was finished as a state, only for the country to return safe and unified. Al-Sudani stressed that the indication of the supreme religious authority that Iraqis have a civilizational and intellectual heritage that they must study, absorb, and rely on is an appropriate indication, and that our country, with its civilization and resources, is capable of facing various challenges, stressing, "Our talk about Iraq's recovery and that it is on the right path is a reassuring message to some alarmists who paint a picture of anxiety, panic and defeatism among the ranks of society." A government advisor warns of the effects of the commercial Trumpism wave. And this is the fate of the budget schedules. Time: the 4th of April 2025, 17 hours 5 minutes and 53 seconds. Read 1995 times. Economic. Al-Farad News. The Prime Minister's financial advisor, Mazhar Mohammed Saleh, confirmed that the country's macroeconomic conditions are significantly affected by external shocks, particularly in Iraq's balance of payments. Saleh pointed out to Al-Farad news agency the need to intensify direct and continuous oversight and follow-up in two main directions. He explained that, the first direction is to monitor the cycle of oil assets and re-evaluate them through cooperation with OPEC regarding prices and production quantities, while the other direction is related to maintaining the flow of foreign currency and protecting the country's reserves. Saleh explained that, focusing on external balances in the economy must be accompanied by more discipline in internal financial and monetary adjustments, especially with regard to public spending. He pointed out that this step has become more urgent to confront the repercussions of what he called trade Trumpism, which has caused disruptions in energy markets, traded commodities, and global supply chains, so that the global economy will stabilize in the future on more stable foundations. He stressed that the budget schedules will remain committed to their basic constants, while taking into account the fluctuations in global oil markets with extreme caution. Economist. Trump's tariffs do not include oil and gas, making Iraq immune to their impact. Time: the 4th of April 2025, 23 hours 58 minutes and 20 seconds. Reading 345 times. Economic. Al-Farad News. Economic expert Salah Nouri confirmed that the customs duties announced by U.S. President Donald Trump do not include oil, gas, and their derivatives, which leaves Iraq immune from the impact of these duties. Nouri told Al-Farad News that the current decline in oil prices is due to market fears of a trade war. He explained that the outbreak of such a war could lead to a slowdown in global economic growth and, consequently, a decline in demand for oil and gas, particularly from China and India. He pointed out that Iraq is indirectly affected by the decline in oil prices, as well as the strict measures imposed by the U.S. Treasury on dollar transfers resulting from oil sales, which are implemented by the U.S. Federal Reserve. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.